Hello, I'm here today to talk about how relationships figure into our personal stories and our family stories. I think it's really interesting when we start off when we think back to our childhood. The earliest relationships we have are with our family, and those are the ones that become the strongest, most central relationships in our lives. And then from there we branch out into relationships with our extended family, and then we learn of the world beyond: friends, neighbors, colleagues. As we grow up, we have coworkers, colleagues, schoolmates, all kinds of different relationships we generate over the course of our life. And what's interesting to me is what we learn about relationships from our parents, and how our parents relate to each other and to people around them affects us. What did our parents do that we saw was something we wanted to imitate? Because whether we want to admit it or not, we do actually wind up imitating our parents in many, many ways. And they imitated their parents. And so here we are imitating somebody that we may know a little bit about, and that's really the point of this whole discussion, is for us to understand who it is we're relating to, relationships, from a series of patterned, kind of passed on interactions that happen over the course of time. I just think that the concept of learning how to relate to the people in your family and then moving that out into the broader world is really interesting. And I think that the idea that relationships, when we talk about how to look at our families and our family stories and our storybooks, we look at the photos. We like looking at photos that we have taken. And photos are a great thing to use to generate good conversations about family stories and family histories, because they're usually taken at really great times. And we get to choose what photos we want, and we get to choose which ones we prefer. And of course we prefer the happy moment photos. And so look at the people that are in those photos and talk about what they were like then at that point in time, and think about where they are now and what that growth of their life has meant to you and what the growth of your life has meant to them. And that's what relationships is. It's sharing the growth of our life. It's sharing our life experiences with each other over time. And friends do that. Family members do that. Co-workers, colleagues, and it just makes for the richness of our life experience comes from our relationships. And so I invite you to look at the photos that you've chosen and really consider the depth of relationships that are there. And if there are stories that you remember from your parents or your grandparents and relationships that they told you about, or lessons that they passed on about relationships or relationship building, definitely pass those on to your kids or your grandkids. I mean, these are really great lessons that families share. And I think the word relationship is central to our being, and it's a great way for families to relate to each other. Thanks so much.